Hi, it's Kim McGrath from Expressions of the Universe on this snowy February forecast, your February stars and cards. I have oracle cards for all zodiac signs. I'll be using Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco and Infinite Wisdom of the Chakras by Austin D. Nicola and Dira Lawrence. I don't think I've ever used this deck. I totally forgot that I had this deck. Before we get started, I'm going to do some grounding for all of us. This is Palo Santo. It smells so good. For those of you that can't stand the smell of sage, like me, this is more powerful and it smells so good. So let's all get grounded. Ooh, let's clear our chakras. And we're going to get grounded. Hopefully my smoke alarms won't go off. It has a really nice, sweet, spicy and citrusy at the same time smell. So we're going to set that over here. What do I have in store for you today? Whoa, it looks like a really big fire. I don't think it's ever smoked like that before. I do this every morning when I'm having my coffee. Speaking of which, friends of mine gave me this really cool mug for Christmas, and it's color changing. So let's see. I mean, it has stars and a couple of little planetary bodies on it, but when you pour hot coffee into it, it wakes up the mug and it gets filled with planets and more stars. So we'll see real time how that works. So I'm recording this just as the first flakes are falling. Try and say that 5 times real fast. We're having a pretty big snowstorm in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. And I saw some of my friends in the mountain areas of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming are also having a storm. And I bet my friends in Canada are also having a storm. So you can see how this is waking up to all these different planetary bodies and constellations on here. It's the perfect astrologer's coffee mug. So thank you, Alex and Jenna, for that. All right, let's get started. I'm going to timestamp this as I have nowhere to go. So this might be long. Don't laugh. Anyway, what's going on before I share my screen? What is going on in the overall energetic weather? There's a lot, but it's really kind of like the calm before the storm right now. And I'm having technical difficulties. All right, there we go. I'm always having a technical difficulty. The calm before the storm, because astrologically wise, we've already had 2 direct hits of the Pluto Mars opposition, or I should say Mars Pluto. You always do the fastest planet first. Currently, Mars is back in Cancer. It's retrograde. When it moves forward and it makes that exact hit, I just did a video on that about Pluto energy. We could see some aggression and more violence. What I have for you today, not only do I have the new moon and the full moon charts that are coming up. We have the Lunar New Year of the wood snake. You know what? I meant to do a slide on that. I totally forgot. Um, and we also have Uranus and Jupiter will be stationing direct. And let's see what else. I'm going to show you some financial slides as well, because these planetary movements are going to cause shifts in the energy. The North Node just moved into Pisces, South Node into Virgo. If you checked out my financial video for 2025, you'll see that when the North Node moves into Pisces, we as a global society are in a downward trend in the stock markets. And so economies start to slow down. They start to show some conservatism. And then when it hits Aquarius, which will be 18 months from now, it will get even tighter. So I have predicted about a 36-month downturn in the economy, in financial global economies all around the world. So you can check out that video. My forecast video for 2025 will discuss all the different planetary ingresses, the different things that are happening, and then I'm breaking it down. I just did the Pluto video. I wrote a blog about, did I write the blog about the North Node? I can't even remember anymore because there's so much happening. But anyway, we're here now, and that's all that matters. Oh, by the way, if there is a topic that you want me to discuss, if there are charts that you want me to look at, please comment me, send me a message, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that. I know there were a lot of questions around the US election and what went on, and I wanted to address that, but I didn't. There are some interesting things that are coming about between now and March or April as far as United States politics and the economy. What else? I also saw some things happening in Canada and the UK. So I may need to break those down a little further and then actually pull out the charts of the players involved in that. So stay tuned. It all depends on time and capacity that I have to do it. I really want to do it, but trying to find the time is a totally different situation. All right, so we have our February stars and cards. My notes for the astrology. Of course, we have my disclaimer that this program is for informational entertainment purposes only, and for fun and for education, so you could learn something new. The stars. So here are the highlights we have on. This is the February, but I'm recording this on January 19th. And it's important to mention that the sun is entering Aquarius. And the reason why I wanted to do this early is because we have the new moon in Aquarius with the Lunar New Year of the wood snake. Here's a little fun fact. The Lunar New Year always occurs on the new moon in Aquarius. So it could happen in January or it could happen in February. So if you were born in January or February, you really need to check and see when the new moon in Aquarius and the Lunar New Year occurred, because you may not have the right animal. I know I was born in the year of the wood snake, so this is a Lunar New Year return for me, which should prove to be extremely prosperous or something big and new happening. I have friends, though, that were born the same year as me, but they were born in January before this Lunar New Year occurred on February 2nd. So if you were born before February 2nd of 1965, then you are the year of the dragon. I know I started an article. I can't remember if I published it or not. I'm crazy headed. Anyway, January 30th, Uranus stations direct at 23 degrees Taurus. And then the following week, Jupiter stations direct at 11 degrees Gemini. So if you have anything, around 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, Taurus or Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio, you'll feel that. As far as the Jupiter, it would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm a 13 Gemini. If you have Gemini, any of the air signs or any of the mutable signs, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and what is Pisces, you'll feel that too. I also want to mention that when one of the bigger planets is stationing direct, we're going to feel and see in the outer world the energy of what it's bringing a week before and through that time period up to a week after. This is really big dynamic energy. Uranus is the planet of expect the unexpected, the chaos maker, innovations. Jupiter expands and makes things bigger. And in Gemini, it's that communications, is that the thoughts in our head, is it things that we're seeing on TV and in social media. Uranus is something unexpected. So just pay attention to that. The new moon and Lunar New Year in the sign of the wood snake is transformation, introspection, growth, creativity, strong connection to nature. And when we are feeling heightened emotions, heightened sensitivity, the best thing for all of us to do is to get out into nature. This energy is for one full year. So snake energy is about renewal, shedding old skin, and healing. The wood energy is about stability and nurturing. It's a period of personal evolution and deep self-reflection while fostering positive change and new beginnings. It's so important based on the astrology and the energy and then this Lunar New Year for us to go within and be extremely and deeply reflective, to clear out the things that trigger us, the things that hurt us when people say certain things or do certain things, the things from our childhood in most cases that are still lingering and holding us back, which is, why you may not be manifesting the things that you want. It all starts in the emotions, in the heart space. And if you're not loving yourself for whatever reason, then this is a great time to be slowing down, really going within. I know that once the spring comes, March 20th, and the vernal equinox, then it's going to be full steam ahead. And that will be preceded by some eclipses. So stay tuned. Take this opportunity, all of us, to enjoy the rest of the winter, because then things are going to get a little crazy. Thing on. Then February 12th, we have the full moon in Leo at 24. And February 18th, the sun will enter Pisces. February 27th, another new moon in Pisces at 9 degrees. All I have for that. So here's the new moon chart, and I have a couple of points pointed out. So here we have, why do I always lose my mouse? There we go. Here we have the sun and moon conjunct, which means together. That is what creates a new moon. But what else do we have? We have Pluto and Mercury are also conjunct in this same stellium. This is the part of fortune and the ascendant, the rising sign, that can be put to the side. The big focus is this new moon with Mercury and Pluto conjunct. What this is saying to me, this is another indication. Oh, and it's also 12th house. I mean, I don't have houses on here because it depends on where you are in the world. It could be a little different. But to me, this is an indication of deep inner reflection, also paying attention to the things that we say to ourselves. We got to stop that negative self-talk, and we need to clear and heal that, because that will prevent you from manifesting. I will be doing a live in-person vision board for the spring equinox, and it's not the cut and paste picture type of vision board. This is based in neuroscience, where when you are actually creating it with your hand, drawing little doodles and different things, that you're actually embedding that energy into your cells and into your neural pathways. But you have to get good with yourself first, as far as like clearing out the negative self-talk. This is also this is also indicative of people holding on to information and not disclosing things that need to be said or need to be told. There's a secrecy or a secretive nature to this. People are not being honest with themselves, and they're not being honest with the people around them. Now, this sun and moon configuration in Aquarius, this is the beginning of a revolution. This is brand new, rebellious type of energy, especially with Mercury and Pluto here. And with Pluto just moving into Aquarius, it is rebellion. It is revolution. It is about humanitarian efforts on a collective basis. All for one and one for all. And the old regime, the Pluto and Capricorn, still trying to hold on to those hierarchies. We're going to see in the coming years, in this 20-year cycle, that that is going to be wiped away. I also have pointed out here, excuse me, Uranus down here in what would be the 4th house for me, still retrograde, getting ready to go direct, but it is making a quincunx to Black Moon Lilith. So this is women's issues. This is the unheard woman, the woman that is pushed aside. We can expect to see some rebellion around that. And then here we have Jupiter in Gemini, instigating, not too far away, making the issues even bigger. This is making a square, I'm sorry, it's a quincunx, but it's quindicially to Black Moon Lilith. So more women's issues. You could take a look at Mars retrograde in Cancer in what would be the 6th house, overall mental, physical, and spiritual health. This is definitely angry women. Women are mad. There's like a rebellion there, but it's also toxic masculinity that is showing up in the world. Right now, it is at bay, but it will come back around. And then I have this big arrow here pointed to Saturn and Venus, Neptune, and the North Node, all in the 2nd house of our values, our self-worth. So what that's saying to me is that A lot of people are living in a friggin' delusion as to what is really going on in the world. Either they don't want to see it, they don't want to believe it, they're trying to normalize situations in the world because the true reality is frightening. Um, the North Node is going to definitely bring out the truth. Neptune is putting a fog on everything, but Neptune will be moving into Aries, and I feel like that fog will be lifted. People's eyes will be open. Saturn causes obstacles and restrictions. So just when you think everything is going well, the things that you can't see or the things that you refuse to see and acknowledge are going to smack you right in the face. And this is right in our pocketbooks. It has to do with self-worth, self-esteem, the way we value ourselves, the way we value materialistic things. It's the economy, and it's also finance. So that does deeply concern me. I'm not so worried about, I mean, maybe I am, the opposition to the South Node in Virgo. Virgo is our overall health, both physical and mental, and thirdly, spiritual. But it is also the service that's put out into the world, people working. It is our food sources. It is grains. Um, it just covers so many things. Also, so picking up small pets in peril, but of course, the California wildfires have been devastating, not only on people, but all of the pets that were lost in the fires, but also that have lost their owners, that they can't find them. I mean, that's heartbreaking. That's my number one priority. I mean, you never know until something happens, but you have to have a plan. Uranus could bring about, Uranus and Jupiter could bring about earthquakes, floods, different things on, like occurring natural disasters on the earth when they're stationing. That energy, we're moving into it right now. So please get a plan, like have your important papers ready. Passport. I'm in the process of renewing my passport right now. I'll come back to that in a minute, but have a plan. Have your pet carriers somewhere where you know you can access them. Put your important papers, passport, deeds to your house, whatever. I mean, you can get those online in a fireproof safe box that you can maybe just take with you, like a portable one. um have food for yourself and for your animals. I mean, like that could be sorted out, but like have a plan for evacuation so that you can get your animals. Now, like right now, I was hoping that my new kitties would be walking on the table here, as they always are, and you would get to meet them, but they're sleeping and I don't know where the baby is right now. I looked all over the house. So he must have found himself a cozy nook somewhere, even though he has like 12 different beds to sleep in. I'm exaggerating, but crossing my fingers that he's okay, because I don't know where he is right now. He is about 3.5 months old, and just the most adorable little guy. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing for this new moon. It is the Lunar New Year, and it is the year of the wood snake. We're shedding old skin. Could be a very difficult and painful period, but the biggest thing I'm seeing right here is the delusion and the secrecy, and things that need to be said are not being said. There's no transparency, I feel. Then we have the full moon. I didn't mark anything off because we do have a lot of the same energies, but now we have Mercury with the sun. And full moons are when the moon and the sun are in opposition of each other. The full moon is in Leo at 24 degrees 6 minutes, and sun exactly. So Mercury and the sun, this could be a lot of information coming out. That information that was hidden on the new moon could actually be dumped on the full moon. This is people speaking up for themselves, or maybe even whistleblowing. I would expect that we're going to hear and see a lot of different things happening in the news. Yeah, so this full moon in February in Leo, it is fixed energy, it's stubborn energy. Now, the illusions of not wanting to see what's going on, now that's moved into the 12th house, which is even further hidden. And this could be jails, institutions, um, illnesses. So I'm kind of worried about, maybe a possible other pandemic on the rise. I think the last time I checked earlier today or yesterday, there were, in the United States anyway, 67 confirmed cases of the bird flu. But also think about all the war-torn areas around the world. And, where there's war, there's also filth, there's dysentery, there is typhoid, different diseases. And then do they become airborne? Do people get sickened from that? So I don't know. There's something brewing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of illness coming within the next 6 months or so. All right, so for financial purposes, this is January 2025 ephemeris. I pulled this out of my financial slides, and I just wanted to note some triggers that are happening. And this does not denote everything that's going on. Venus rules money, and Mars rules volatility. Pluto is transformation and change. And so I do have some areas marked. The sun is also the world's vital life force. And we do have some triggers happening when the sun moves into Aquarius. So right around between January 19th and the 21st, it makes that direct contact conjunction with Pluto, as well as Mercury, which, why is it not showing up here? Because, we saw that, not till the 29th. But this energy lingers. So something is transforming as far as our economy. Can mostly see it right down around the 29th. I have these other trigger marks that are occurring, most definitely with the North Node in Pisces. So I'm seeing some underlying triggers in change in the economy happening after Tuesday, January 21st. And then there's like some stirrings brewing. I don't think anything pops out at me, but then come February, the energy picks up a little bit more. We have more planetary interplay that is occurring. And I just have these planets marked off. Like I said, it's not all of the planets or all of the aspects involved, but wherever you're seeing the green, that's where I'm seeing volatility possibly in finances. It's really not until the end of the month when Mars goes direct in Leo that we're going to see, well, I'm sorry, Mars will go station direct at the end of the month. It doesn't get into Leo until a couple months from now. But that changing of the energy really starts to shift things. We will start to see more stirrings, hear about more things financially, globally. Yeah, that's all I have to say. You're going to have to stay tuned for March. I'll show you that slide. That's really volatile. You can go check out my financial forecast video to see all of the months. And now I have the cards. I think that's, oh, before, before we get into all of that. So the cards associated, tarot cards associated with February are the star for Aquarius and the moon for Pisces. And the energy for Aquarius, the star, it symbolizes hope and inspiration, reflecting the innovative nature of Aquarius. The star can symbolize hope, inspiration, sense of purpose, encouraging individuals to maintain optimism about the future. The star happens to be my favorite card in the entire tarot deck. And then Pisces is represented by the moon, which embodies our intuition and dreams, capturing the emotional depths of Pisces. And it's the subconscious. It's inviting deep emotional exploration and introspection. And that I really feel is the energy that we're in right now. Stop sharing. Oh, I'll get ready for your cards and your horoscopes for the month. Take a little pause. Take a little pause. Get this set up for you. All right, so I have everything set up. And what I want you to do is you want to listen for your sun sign, your rising sign or ascendant, and your moon sign. If you don't know what they are, you can order a reading from me, or you can check out my Astrology 101 video that shows you how to pull your own chart for free, because there are a lot of online resources, but you may not be able to read what it says, but it's important to know your big three. Before I read the horoscopes and pull the cards from the decks, I had to point out this piece of artwork. This piece of artwork in my ephemeris calendar. You'll notice there's a swan here, and swan symbolism has been coming up for me so much. I even named my kittens the swans. They look like little swans. Well, the baby does, but I named them, if you haven't seen my posts. He is named Cygnus or Signet after the constellation in the summer sky of the swan. And then it turns out that there is a rose swan nebula in the constellation of Sagittarius. Rosie was her name in the shelter. She was a street cat. I adopted a mama cat and a baby kitten, and I think he's still nursing a little bit. But I wanted to keep them together. And so they are the swans. And then just swan symbolism just keeps coming up and over again. It is, think of swan, it's a sign of spring. It is also the sign of transformation. Think of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale about the ugly duck, not the ugly duckling. Is it the ugly duckling? Yes. And it turned into a beautiful swan. And so that is the spring transformation, going from the death of winter into the growth and beauty and transformation of the spring. So I'm going to be writing about swan animal totems, so stay tuned for that. All right, so I'm going to do your horoscope for each zodiac sign, and I'm going to pull a card, move my mouse, from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck by Stacey DeMarco and The Infinite Wisdom of the Chakras by Allison D. Nicola, and the art is by Dira Lawrence. So two beautiful decks. I do not know this deck. This was gifted to me. So I'm going to wing it. Just go with the energy I'm picking up. All right. So for Aries, this is really about slowing down, slowing your roll January into February, because when Saturn and Neptune move into Aries, you are going to be put on alert and it's just going to be full steam ahead. You might like the fiery energy. You might feel like the fiery energy is lacking for you, Aries. This month for February, life is quieter and you could find it hard to get motivated. Focus on centering and grounding yourself. Don't rush any decisions. Slowing down can offer wisdom and clarity. And your cards are, you have beauty. This is about seeing beauty in the mundane, in every little thing that crosses your path. If you can focus on seeing the beauty in everyday things, even things that are ugly, then your life will awaken and have more meaning, more clarity. This is card number 20. This is about your relationships with people and putting up boundaries around it so that you can have a more fulfilling relationship with people and see them in a better light. The chakra card that you have, it's tree rooted, and this is about the root chakra. This is about grounding. So that really goes with the horoscope for you, Aries, suns, risings, and moons. Get out into nature, sit at the base of a tree, close your eyes and take a deep breath. This card says, and you know what? These are my old glasses. When I can't find my glasses. So these aren't strong enough to see what I need to see. It says, find harmony by planting your roots deep within the earth. So as symbolized in this picture, go out, sit at the base of a tree, preferably not in the winter time, but you may need to. If you can get a grounding mat and sit on that. And just do not be holding a cell phone or any other electronic device because you will get electrocuted. But yeah, get out into nature and see all the beauty that is around you, Aries. Those there. It's going to be long. Taurus, emotional and intellectual merges within you and are running high. So your emotions and your mind are probably like, especially with Aquarius stationing direct in your sign. So allow deeper emotional connection and engage in meaningful conversations. If you're finding it hard to get grounded, go out into nature or eat extra root vegetables to help integrate some earthly goodness. And that will be good for the Aries as well. I think everybody needs to get out into nature. Just bundle up. Make sure you wear a hat. You'll stay warm. Taurus, it's about self-love. And this is a waxing crescent moon. It is card number 6. That is about material abundance. But if you're not loving yourself, you're not bringing anything into your life. It starts right here in your own heart. And your chakra card, it's insight. So that would be your third eye chakra. And the third eye chakra also controls your ears third eye chakra? Yeah, so that's throat chakra controls the ears. Sorry, I'm losing it, right? This is insight, and the picture points right to the third eye chakra. All right. So insight, spiritual teacher, connect with a spiritual teacher and tap into higher dimensions. And how do you do that? Well, you could take a deep blue stone, such as lapis lazuli, place it on your third eye chakra while you're laying down. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, put on some beautiful, soothing uh, Hertz music. I would recommend 528 because that's for the heart. Um, and allow your third eye to open so that you can see a bigger perspective, Taurus. Okay, Gemini, what do we have for you? What did I write down? Use the first half of the month to get your ideas out, Gemini. It's a great time for networking and having important interactions. The last half of the month is about letting your imagination run wild. Keep track of ideas to implement later. So you're going to have to be journaling, Gemini. I think with Jupiter moving direct in Gemini, and Uranus also moving direct, getting ready to move into Gemini, your mind will be a floodgate of ideas coming in. It's important to write them down because thoughts are fleeting. Your card is nourishment, and it is card number 7. And this is about spiritual path, being spiritually nourished, and pulling in ideas and wisdom from the divine. And you can see in this picture, it's just like the floodgates opening with information, with wisdom, just pouring in, but you have to be open and receptive to that, Gemini. Your chakra card is this, and this looks like it says Sky Messenger, freedom, let go of restrictions and set yourself free. Now, it is golden in color. There's a focus here on the throat, but I feel like this is more solar plexus type of energy, and maybe even crown chakra energy. Letting go, let yourself be free, letting go of perceived ideas. And with it being the sky messenger, that would also be like divine intervention, divine downloads coming for the Geminis. Cancers, suns, risings, and moons. It says you may find you have extra energy and drive. That's because Mars is retrograde in Cancer. And your relationships may be energized. There can be a fine line between passion and frustration, though. Strive for balance between going after ambitions and goals and nurturing important emotional connections. Okay. And you have the path. So it's like there's an opportunity happening, especially with Mars being in Cancer for quite some time, for the next couple of months. So there's this portal opening. And Mars will go direct in Cancer around February 23rd or 24th, depending on where you live. So choose wisely, because not all that glitters is gold. This is card number 8, and I swear I shuffled and cut these, but 8 is about a new path of abundance. Maybe you're leaving behind a path that you thought for sure was destined for you, and now you're being forced to move on from that. When I talk too much and too fast, my throat gets so dry and scratchy, and then so that's I have to slow it down myself, I suppose, and make sure I stay hydrated, even though we know coffee is not hydrating. Anyway, there's a new path opening for the Cancers, and it's a path that you were not expecting. You may be a little disappointed and reluctant to hop on that path because you may be thinking like, this is not what I wanted. But you're being pushed. That's what the energy I'm picking up. This is definitely throat chakra energy. This is about speaking up for yourself, but not only that, like I was saying a minute ago, the throat chakra is also connected to our ears. So listening is just as important as speaking, Cancers. And your message is throat chakra, spacious. Feel the opening of your voice and your expression, speaking up for what you want. Okay, Leos. You could be feeling a bit out of sorts, Leos. Yeah, well, because Mars is like back and forth in your sign. The sun will be moving into Aquarius, so it will be opposing whatever you have in Leo. So get used to that. Um, okay, with your spark a little bit dimmer than usual because of that Aquarius opposition, your confidence may waver a bit, but use this slower period for reflection rather than action, especially with Mars retrograde, waiting for it to come back into Leo. This is like a time of reflection for the Leos. Self-awareness is its own superpower. You'll be re-energized before the month is over. I don't know about that. I think that it may take until April for the Leos to feel, well, maybe I would say third week of March, Leos, you'll start to come back online. Your card is pleasure. It is card number 18. So this is about really taking care of yourself. Pleasure. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? The self and the abundance, the infinity, leading you on a new path. We are in a 9-year. This card nets to a 9. So this is one chapter ending and a new beginning, especially with Mars being retrograde in Leo Cancer. This is a new opportunity for the Leos. Are you going to take it? But it all starts in with you taking care of yourself, making yourself happy, doing what it is that makes you happy. It's all about the pleasure. Your chakra card is, this is, I think, third eye or crown chakra. I love the raven up there, but this is also solar plexus, it looks like. And it says, Raven Goddess Magic. Fly into the darkness to reveal the light within you. And that really goes with this other card. Look at that. This is about opening up your crown chakra and allowing the divine download, the darkness of some magic, or the darkness of like that dark night of the soul type of energy that we often feel in winter. Allowing yourself to go and reflect and use that energy to heal so that you can emerge when the sun moves into Aries and reignites you, and also when Mars gets back into Leo, you're going to hit the road running. But I don't think that's really until May for the Leos. We'll see. All right, Virgos, the little virgins. Objectivity is your best friend now. You may find that the atmosphere is a whirlwind of overthinking and emotionality. Although this may take you out of your comfort zone, use it as an opportunity to deepen your emotional intelligence and empathy towards others and yourself. So this is really important because the South Node is spending 18 months in Virgo. And with that energy, this is about releasing a lot of that Virgo-ness, overthinking, over-analyzing, over-criticizing, whether it's to yourself or to others. We're dropping a lot of that. So, and I'm pretty sure I wrote an article about that. I can't remember. Maybe I did a video. I think I did an article at expressionsoftheuniverse.com. It'll give you all the details of the things that you should be aiming for, the tendencies that you should be embracing, and the tendencies that you should be letting go. And that's for everybody. Your card is fruition. That is about manifestation and bringing things to you, bringing things to life. It is card number 37, which nets to a 10. But the 3 and 7 says it really takes more than just yourself, takes a team in order to see a vision be created, to see your prosperity unfold. Maybe this is a good time for you to share some ideas. I would be a little leery for right now, but things will come into fruition when you honor yourself, you honor the other, you put up boundaries around it, because a new path is unfolding. And when you can really tap in and get grounded with the energy, you will get a flood of information coming in for you, as depicted in this photo. Your chakra card is Great Central Sun and Unity. So it really does go with that 37. It says, become aware of ideas, consciousness, and existence beyond the known and beyond the self. This would be like all of your chakras all in one, but mostly third eye crown chakra. This is knowing that you can't do it alone, Virgos. You need a collective assistance for your ideas to blossom. All right, so Libra, we have the energy this month is pretty intense for the Libras. While there's great potential in the area of communication, it might be easy to let overwhelming emotions get the better of you. Try to employ logic when possible. Finding the middle ground is key. So I'm trying to think what would be so upsetting for the Libras other than Jupiter trining, and the sun is trining. So yeah, there is an intensity, and there's a lot of overthinking for the Libras, I would think. Your card is realization. Realization is the key that unlocks the doorway. It's about perception. It is about that epiphany moment, like the aha moment. You have card number 3, and the 3 is a magic number, and it's about you and someone else creating something fantastic and unlocking a new pathway, a new doorway into something brand new. But if you're going to be stubborn and obstinate or get overly emotional about things, having to be all yours, all your idea, or all your action, you're not going to unlock that doorway. Your chakra card looks very fiery red, looks root chakra to me. This is Lakshmi, and you know she's the goddess that brings all the blessings. She's the golden goddess, and she the golden abundance of the universe is opening for you. Interesting. The golden abundance of the universe is opening for you. Look at that keyhole. Same thing. But you got to get good with your emotions and overthinking, Libra, and your indecisive tendencies. But this, to me, is definitely about root chakra. So go out in nature, get grounded, Libra, because there's a flood of abundance coming your way. Unless you get yourself a little balanced, you're going to have a difficult month. Scorpio, you're coming to the end of a period of introspection. It's a great time to finish projects and bring things to their natural conclusion. By the end of the month, you'll feel noticeable shifts in your drive and your desire to move forward. Your card is Faith. This is, to me, kind of like the star in a traditional tarot deck, because this is asking you to hold on just a little bit longer. Have faith, have hope that everything that you're trying to wrap up is going to come to a profitable end, so that you can have a new beginning. This is about dreaming things into existence. This is card number 31. This is also asking you about the people and the places and the things in which you are joining. Find your vibe, like get into your vibe and find your tribe is part of the energy here. There's definitely a collective oneness within this card. And I feel as though the Scorpios are getting ready to birth something brand new when I see this card. Your chakra card is Ganesh. And that, to me, is solar plexus power energy. And Ganesh is about abundance of earth. Release the obstacles to receiving abundance to perfect form. So what that is saying to me is that when we overthink how something is supposed to show up, either it's not going to show up because we've tried to plan out exactly how it's going to look, when it's showing up, where it's going to show up, who it is, whatever. When we overthink that, then we push a lot of things away that show up for us, but not in the form that we want. And so we dismiss things and we let them go. But if we can relax into how something is coming, who it's going to be, where it's going to be, or whatever, if we relax into the mystery of how it will show up or who will show up, then when something does come, then you stop and say, oh, I wonder if this is it. I wonder if this is the person. I wonder if this is the opportunity. And then you may act upon that. You'll find out very quickly whether it is the right thing or not, but at least you're not pushing things away. That's what I'm getting off of this Ganesh card. Capricorns. Sagittarius. I'm sorry, Sagittarius. You may start off feeling more subdued than usual, Sagittarius. As the month progresses, your enthusiasm will come back, your spirits will lift, and you'll gain a renewed sense of life, a new feel for life, a new zest for life. Use the initial calm this at the beginning of this month to reflect and plan for the energetic uptick. All right, so interesting. Sagittarians, you have the surrender card, and this is about just releasing any expectation, allowing things to come, and overwash you, whether it's emotion or turmoil, whatever it is. Just surrender and go with the flow. The more you resist, the more painful things are. So if you just surrender to it is what it is and keep going, it will be much more pleasurable. I wouldn't say pleasurable, but a lot easier. You have card number 26. This is about yourself and another. This could be marriage situation. This could be, partnership situation. Finances are involved. Surrendering into definitely the unknown. This is definitely what I'm picking up is I feel very Gemini energy, like there's two of something Sagittarius and or there's like another person to consider. So this is not about going it alone. Um, and I hear the song, Should I Stay or Should I Go Now? Just surrender into what is coming at you. And if you're trying to cling on to something and it's just not meant to be, it's going to be painful. You're going to get rope burns on your hand for holding on. Might be best to let things go and go with the flow. Your chakra card, it's fertility and it's Aphrodite. And this says, become attuned to the fertile ground within you. This is very much root chakra and solar plexus energy, getting grounded and standing in your power. So definitely get out into nature. Aphrodite is the goddess of beauty, but you have to be living in a grounded and stable place in order to see the beauty that is around you. And now we're at Capricorn. Capricorn, the dynamics this month may feel a little push and pull. While you may be compelled to move forward in some way, opposing forces are encouraging reflection and emotional recalibration. That would be Mars in your opposite sign of Cancer. Balance, pragmatism, and empathy to make the most of all the opportunities that are coming for you. Your card is, oh, I love that. It's protection. It's about being all nice and cozy in the nest. Know that anything that is not coming your way, that you are demanding and you are wanting, like moving forward too quickly, it's for your own protection. You are being saved from something that doesn't show up, and I would willingly take that. This is card number 24, and this is about material abundance for sure, but when it's coming from the right people that have your back, like your tribe, people that resonate with you, your pack, so to speak. Allow people to shield and protect you at this time. I spoke about how Pluto had been in Capricorn for so long, and it only just moved into Aquarius, that we still feel those lingering and wanting to trudge forward because now that energy has lifted off the Capricorns. Slow your roll. Just take this time and allow the universe to protect you or the people around you. Your chakra card, interesting, it's the deer. And this says compassion, which, didn't I just say that to give yourself some more compassion? This is heart chakra energy for sure. But this is also about quiet power. This is not having to rush out of the gates and hit the ground running, Capricorn. This is about standing in your power quietly. You don't have to shout into the forest that you're the most powerful, right? Just your presence alone shows the power that you have. And this says, accept everything as it is and find compassion for all in this situation, or all in your situation. That's heart chakra energy. All right, Aquarius, happy birthday, Aquarius. Your self-expression and communication skills are amped up for this month of February, making it a great time for new projects and making social connections. Satiate your natural curiosity by taking class or networking. New hobbies are available to you at this time, and take advantage of this favorable period. This is about starting something brand new that you've never done before, Aquarius. Your card is Focus, and it is card number 14. Before I get into that, Focus, it's like, what is it that you're focusing on? Is your focus in the right place? Is your focus external or is it internal? Because the external really just doesn't matter. It's what's going on in here. And what you focus on is what grows in your life or shows up in your life. So be really mindful of what it is that you're focusing on. The card 14 nets to a 5, and that says big changes are coming for the Aquarius, but it all starts with the self, within the mind, and with the people that you surround yourself with. Okay, and we have sacral chakra. This is about getting creative. This is what I said, a new hobby, a new creative activity. This is about ideas, allowing ideas to flow into you so that you can start something brand new. And this is about water. This is about emotions. This is about allowing things to flow naturally and not forcing things. It says connect to the inner dwelling place of joy and abundance, which lies right below the belly button. And this is about just allowing yourself to have fun, taking advantage of this prosperous time for the Aquarians and your birthday year, your solar return. And last but not least, we have Pisces. As you come to the end of your solar year, Pisces, wrap things up and clear the slate for a brand new cycle. You may be feeling a little extra nostalgic, but don't let that convince you to hold on to things. Talking about physical things, mental things, hurtful things, let them go. You no longer need these things. So why are you holding on to it? Which is a good mental note for me, because after this, I have to do some housework. Your card is about abundance. So the only way you can bring more into your life, whether it's material or immaterial, is by clearing out, getting rid of. You have to make the space, you have to make the room, whether it's mentally or physically or even spiritually. You want some new wisdom to come in, maybe just, start a new practice where you're just deep breathing out in nature, not thinking of anything, not particularly meditating. Yoga is always good. Physical, you need to clean the closets and the drawers and the attic and the garage. Got to get rid of it. And then, well, that's also for mental, but physical is also, this would be a good time for a detox for the Pisces so that you can clear out the body as well as the mind. So it has to do with all of it, Pisces. And your chakra card, it's the owl. So that is about wisdom. It is also about omens, spirits on the other side, paying attention to your guides and symbols and signs that are showing up for you. It says, use all of your senses to perceive the wisdom and the information that you are seeking. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that kind of wraps up the February stars and cards. So I was talking about the swans. Yeah, I want to do a vlog about swan animal totem. What else is coming up next? I believe it will be Neptune entering Aries. That will be coming in at the end of March. I'll do a separate video other than the March stars and cards. What else did I want to talk about? I don't know. It's all out of my head at this point. I was hoping you could see my new kitties. The snow is really coming down, but it isn't sticking. I think it's a little too warm out for right now. Miss Bailey is over in the living room there. She's sound asleep. Everybody's sleeping. I know that I'm going to have a flood of things. I am teaching that neuro art class live in Newtown, February 23rd. It is how can we manifest through neuroscience? It's definitely not the cut and paste pictures on a vision board. This is something that can embed into our neuro pathways. And it's about creating good habits, but also the visualization of that. I'm going to try and record that class prior to so that I can push that out as a for purchase class for all of you. See how that goes and how that works. If I have the proper equipment to do that, it will be just a nominal fee. And the importance of doing a vision board for the spring or vernal equinox is that is the astronomical new year. So back hundreds, thousands of years ago, actually 2000 years ago, approximately, the beginning of the year was always on the vernal equinox when the sun moves into Aries. And somewhere along the line, the churches decided, and the tax collectors, they decided that they wanted to make January 1st New Year's Day and collect their taxes on January 1st, which is interesting because the sun is in Capricorn and that's about money. People all over the world did not hear about, well, all over the world. It was mostly in Europe or in Africa. They didn't hear about the changing of the calendar in that way. And so when they were doing their spring celebrations on the 1st of April, they were called April Fools because they didn't know that the calendar had changed, because we didn't have internet back then. And it took somebody to ride to all the lands to announce the changing of the calendar. So the people that were celebrating the beginning of the new year and the spring in April were called April Fools because they were not informed. That's where that comes from. It is, back that up. So winter, here's the thing. January 1st, it's winter. And winter, everything is dead. And this is in the Northern Hemisphere, mind you. Everything's dead. Nothing's growing. Everything is just trying to survive. That is not the time to try and set new intentions for the year or to manifest things. I know everybody is so preconditioned to do that, but it really isn't. You need to go with the flow of the season. So when the sun moves into Aries at 0 degrees, that is the vernal equinox, the spring equinox. That's when everything starts to emerge. So actually, we're coming up on Imbolc, IMBOLC, which is the halfway point between winter and spring. It is celebrated as Candlemas, uh, Bridget's Day, Brigitte Day. There are celebrations all over the world for this midpoint of 15 degrees Aquarius. It's the halfway point between the winter and the spring. But in a lot of places in the world, we could start to see the emergence of those first crocuses, those first little flowers that start to crop up. In the United States, February 2nd, it's celebrated as Groundhog's Day, where groundhog comes out of his burrow. If he sees his shadow, he runs back into the burrow for 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, then we will have an early spring. I don't know the actual statistics of the accuracy of that, but I don't think that that is really accurate for all parts of the world. We generally have early spring here in southeastern Pennsylvania. They do the groundhog thing in the United States just about 400 miles west of where I am in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. I've never gone because I don't like driving that long. And I don't think you can take an airplane, and there's way too many people. I don't like crowds of people. So I have not gone. And but generally we start to get warmer weather at the very beginning of February. Looking at the forecast, this has been an unusually cold winter here, and we're getting our first bits of snow for the first time in a couple of years. We're supposed to be getting anywhere from maybe 6 to 12 inches in my area today, which will be a lot considering not having snow for years, but I have everything I need. And tomorrow is a bank holiday as I'm recording this. So I'm just going to stay cozy. And yeah, so stay tuned. I'm going to be preparing more of the planetary ingress energy photo presentations and getting that information out to you as to what we can expect with Saturn moving into Aries and Neptune moving into Aries and Jupiter moving into Cancer and Uranus moving into Gemini. And it's going to be quite a year. So stay tuned. If there are any videos that you would like me to record, if there are any celebrity charts that you would like me to look at, just message me and I will give it some consideration. And I guess that's all I have for you. Until next time, stay warm, stay cozy. Spring is almost here. Bye.